Okay, so today we're going to be dissecting the role of the Women Development Center in the promotion of women's businesses in Abuja. So before we go further, sir, I'd like you to do a little overview of what the Miriam Babangida Center for Women's Development is all about. Tell us a little bit of what it is you all do and how you support women's development. So I'd like you to give us a brief overview of what it is you do in Women Development Center.
Okay, thank you for having me here. Once again, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Johnson Morrison Udobong. I am the Director ICT Department, Mariam Babangida National Center for Women Development. So I hope you can all hear me. I want to use this opportunity to tell you what we do. Our center was established in 1992. That's 32 years ago. So what we've done basically is to empower women. The original mantra was better life for the rural women. And but we've extended that to every woman that we have in the country and beyond. So we looked at things and systems and processes that can empower women so that they can fully realize their potentials and contribute to the development of the country. And our office actually is a parastatal under Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. So we are more like the implementing parastatal of policies that affect women. So what we do basically first is to do a research, because our aim is to create what we call an equitable environment for women. An environment where women can actively take part. They will be given a right of place so they can take part in different phases of activities in the country, from political to entrepreneurship, to governance and business, technology, and all that. So our main aim is to create an equitable environment for women. Now, I mentioned the word equitable, even though at the destination point is equality, equal environment for all, but equitable environment, we're starting with equitable environment, then eventually we get to an equal environment for all. So we do that through different processes, but the very first one is research work. So we do research on different sex disaggregated data. You know, you cannot intervene. You may not really know what way to act, what to do if you have not carried out research on things. You really want to understand things. So the first thing is to do research. So we do research on various topics, ranging from cases of gender-based violence, unpaid care work, political participation, you know, anything that has to do with sex disaggregated. They want to know the number of male and female, even in technology. So the research process is quite expensive. And one of the constraints we have is just a little bit of low budgeting, but with little we have, we do all that. And we also have a data bank in which we collect all this data and we analyze it. I built that data bank from the ICT platform, so it's online. So at the back of the data, you see the raw data. Then in front, you see the analysis of different data that we have. Maybe as we're getting on the course of this discussion, I will share the link with you so anybody can have access to it. So once we do the research, we understand what's happening in the country in terms of sex disaggregated data, then we can now carry out intervention. The result of the data, we first place at the doorstep of the policymakers. You know, we tell them this is what is happening to women based on the research we've done. And also, as an organization, we also carry out our own intervention. And that can come through either training, if it has something to do with knowledge, equipping women with knowledge. We could also do things like empowerment, if we have something to do with, upscaling their skills to a point where they can comfortably participate in business. And also any other area, even mentorship. We have the resource center of women in governance. Inside that resource center, we have documentation of women that have taken part in policy, in politics and in governance, and a whole wealth of knowledge and experiences they've shared both in audio, visual, and text format for anybody to have access to. So that resource center is meant to mentor women, expose them to what they need to know so that they can actively take part in politics and also in governance. So those are the things we do. Then from the training perspective, we do vocational training, we do ICT training. And I can talk a lot about that. Over the years, we've trained hundreds of thousands of women on different ICT skills and vocational skills. We even venture into artisanship training, male-dominated skills, things like plumbing, generator repairs, POP, and all kinds of things that men are actually actively participating in. We bring women into that fold and teach them, and we don't just teach them, we equip them. That's where the empowerment point comes in. We equip them with tools that they need. For example, if a woman registers to do a program on plumbing, for example, at the end of the training, she'll be given all the plumbing tools. She'll be given setup packets and even some grants to start up the business, and we mentor them, we support them. We also carry out M&E, monitoring and evaluation, to know how they are doing, and we support them until they're able to, have a comfortable footing. We also have a big relationship with CBN and other development organizations. What CBN does is they recognize our center as a training institute, so all our students have access to direct loan that are available on the CBN platform to utilize. So that's basically what we've done. And then we also, I think I need to mention this because of the concept of this forum. We also network with other women to develop policies that affect women. We have the Gender-Based Violence, the VAP Act, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. That is meant to address the issues of gender-based violence. We also have things on Child's Rights Act. Then we also have the gender bill that was rejected several times by the Senate. It was presented, I think, 4 or 5 times. It was all rejected. And that gender bill really is meant to save and address things on gender equality, encouraging women to take part in procurement, in politics, and in different phases of society so that they can actively participate and express themselves. But those bills were rejected, and the major reason was because of cultural and religious reasons. But we have not given up. This year or next year, the women are gearing up to take it back again to the new Senate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that beautiful introduction of what it is the Women Development Center does. Okay, so everyone on this call, this is going to be a very interactive session. So maybe during the course of our discussion, if you have any question, you can kindly put up your hand. Just in case you have a question, we're going to take your question because it comes to be a very interactive one. And so, sir, you've been talking about intervention. So I believe you know about our training. So basically, everyone on this call is under the World Bank training. You are on affirmative procurement, where we train women with the right tools to succeed in a male-dominated field of procurement. All right, but one of the most intriguing factor in all of this is that, okay, we've trained our women with those skills, yeah. So we want to know, right? One of the most important factor that deter our women also is access to finance, access to microloans. Yes. So we want to know, right? Is there anything the women? I heard you said something about the having access to the central bank loan and all of those things. So I would like you to expatiate on that. Is there any loans available to women? You just said about those women who have gone through your training. So what about women entrepreneurs who are in Abuja, right, and need access to this finance? Are there avenues that this your center can also support women who have not gone through your maybe one of your intervention programs? Is there any way they can get access to these opportunities as well? And how? Would like to know that as well.
Okay, thank you for your question. I want to quickly, before I answer that, let me just quickly say something that, when we talk about training, having skills, there are two types of skills, soft skill and the hard skill. I think it's important to mention that, it's good for people who wants to take part in procurement. It's especially that they want to also proceed to start up their own business, become entrepreneurs. So the soft skill addresses the concept of being honest, being persistent, more in interpersonal relationship, having people skills, having, this concept of not easily giving up and all that, because the environment is challenging. So it's important to know that. So anybody that has not done anything on soft skills should go back and learn soft skills, Then the other one is the hard skill, which is a core training that has been given to you. If you're doing something on procurement, we teach you specific things on how to address procurement issue. If you're doing something on ICT, depending on which area, we also teach you how to data analytics, software engineering, and all that. We teach you specific. But you cannot survive in this environment and many other environments around the world if you just have the soft hard skills alone. You need to have a combination of soft skill and the hard skill in order to be able to survive. Why am I saying this? You go to apply for a loan and your loan is rejected, you walk away. That means you probably have had the hard skill, but you didn't have the soft skill. The soft skills will give you this mindset to be a bit persistent, to try other means, and not just to easily give up until you're able to get what you're looking for. So having said that, we work with, let me just say this, our office, we carry out our training in 3 ways. One way is we advertise certain courses, anybody can pay for them. The other part is partnership, just like what we're trying to do with your organization. Then the third part is we also have projects that comes through the budget. So it's monthly budget funded programs that we train women for free. We empower them, we give them startup skills, we give them grants, and we, then from our certificate, they can take it to CBN and even Bank of Industry and all those other banks that are affiliated with us for any kind of loan, even sent to, the banks, the commercial banks. So the same thing happens here. We are working in partnership with the organization. So your members can also easily access these loans that are available, both in central bank and any other, because there was a letter that shows that, we are working in partnership with our own organization. CBN recognizes us and recognizes all the students that comes through our platform. Then, of course, commercial banks too can also give loan. The only thing is the interest rates can be a bit on the high side, but the question is it for starting up a business, or is it for taking part doing a procurement work? Whichever way it is, if you're getting loan, through CBN, the interest rate may be very low, but if you're going through a commercial bank, the interest rate may be a bit high. But I know when it comes to loan, I always tell my students, you have to be a bit disciplined, make sure that you pay. And I think it's important because of the young people who are also in this platform to mention that wherever you're getting loan from, if it's a loan that you need to pay back, then you have to always ask for the possibility of making a bulk payment. So what that means is if a loan is given to you to do a job and you're told to pay in 4 years or 15 years, don't follow that time frame. Make sure you work hard and pay off within a short period of time. So always ask the organization if there is a provision for bulk payment. And if that is not done, accepted, then you don't have to collect that loan. Bulk payment simply means that in the course of that loan cycle, you may have a large amount of money and you can easily pay in to clear off what you have there. So that will save you a lot of stress and save you a lot of trouble, in getting your loan off. So yes, your organization partner with us, the student can work with us, and we can direct them through various means in which they can access loans that are available for their activities, depending on what they want to do. Don't forget that CBN gives loan for specific activities. If what you're doing has to do with agri, it's loan for, if it's for entrepreneurship. So we need to know what type of loan and what category to place the loan.
Okay, I guess I'll be meeting you to get more information on that, because that is a very, very vital part of this training. All right, so I have Madam Memuna here for a question. Please kindly unmute and go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, Madam Bless. I had a bad experience with this training center, so I want to ask the man if they are serious now. I remember my son graduating from secondary school, and I paid for him to learn the website development. I always take him there, drop him in the morning, go back to pick him up. He will tell me he has not done anything. The resource person has not shown up. I don't know if they are serious now, because we paid 50,000 then, and no refund was given to us, and the children were not trained. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Memuna.
Okay, madam. I don't know whether you've met me before, or probably that was before. Maybe a little bit of history. Our office was initially set up by the U.S. government, so most of us were employed as staff of the U.S. government before we were handed over to the center. So I don't know exactly when this web design was paid, but what you would have done is, I'm currently now the director of the ICT department. So you would have walked up to my office to tell me the experience you have, and I would have been able to address it. But since we never met, I will not know exactly whose tenure, whether it was my tenure or whether it was the previous people that were heading the department, or what would have happened to it. But I always make sure, because I have been in the IT industry for 24 years now, so I make sure that all the courses that we teach, I teach my staff. I make sure I upgrade. We always do training and retraining, and I have over 300 videos. Over 300 videos on all courses. Because what I noticed before was that a lot of students forget things, So I just felt, it was important to sit down and start developing videos. I have complete videos for website design. So what I always insist on is, after the training, they should hand them over to the students, so that even if in the next 1 year or two, they want to make reference, they can play all those videos. These are not videos we download from the internet. These are videos that I produce, and other staff also producing. So we collate them in one place. I have a YouTube channel, so that's where most of the videos are being done for free. Other ones are kept. So I don't know when your child did that, but I'm sorry about that experience. But please, next time, reach out to me, then I will be able to address the issue, know what the problem is, and address it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Madam Memuna, I trust that has answered you. If you need his contact information as well, I can make it available. So now, also, sir, I still want to address a little on the access to finance, right? So our women would like to know, are there certain criteria that they consider? Say, for instance, someone wants to apply for a loan on agri, or maybe the person into construction. So are there some certain criteria that are required to get access to this loan? That is one. And how can women access information such as your trainings, or maybe the support you could give to women from your center? Is there other than your site, is that where all of this information are being posted? So we want to know some of those details, sir. So going forward, we'll know how to access all of this information.
Okay. Well, I will just tell you a little about my experience. The idea is, all financial houses have conditions that must be fulfilled. Someone who probably have not run it. Okay, let me just pick them as it's coming to mind. If you have participant people who have done training, it's always advisable that they don't just walk into the financial house and ask for loan as a single individual. We always advise women and young girls, form yourself into cooperative. You are more likely to have loans are more likely to be respected and given the loan you want when you go as a cooperative. Don't just work as a single person. So what that means is that 2-3 people can come together, register a business name, have all the documentation, and then they can access walk into any of these financial houses and they will give it to you. If you work in as a single person, the possibility of getting it is always very high. The possibility is always very difficult. So form a cooperative, working as a cooperative. Generally, that's what I've known. This likelihood of getting a loan is very high. Then 2, I also teach a course on entrepreneurship. If you have acquired some skills, you want to start up a business, we don't always advise people to start up a business by collecting a loan. It's expected that you should have run that business for some time, a year or 2 or 3, and it should be in the area that you have competency in. And like I said, it's not just about the skill you have. That's probably the hard skill. You need to have soft skills. You need to know how to manage people. You need to have people skill, computer skill, crisis management skill, business skill. So many skills has to come in, so many skills. You have to know all, I've just told you a little thing about loan management skill, all that. So you have to run that business for some time, really understand how the business goes, and see you in the process of running, you'll be able to check your location and check how viable it is, if there are 1 or 2 things you need to do. And so, because normally companies will ask you to bring your business you need to write a business plan. You need to know, okay, how have you been doing? What has been your turnover? How have you fared? How many staff do you have? What's your location? They need to see all that. Financial houses need to see all that. Once they see that what you are doing is viable and you want to access a certain amount, they need to know that there's a likelihood that you'll be able to pay back. Don't forget that most times this money, unlike the money we give, our own money is grant. So if anybody wants to have access to our training, all what you need to do is follow us on Facebook and on our website. I will show you the details with you. We've not started our 2024 budget yet. We are buying equipment now. So very soon we will open our portal for people to register. And once you register and you meet the condition, you will just walk in. We don't need anything, provided you are a lady. Don't forget, sorry, our training is only for female. Only female. Only female. It's a deliberate policy to empower female. Only female, no male. But male can walk in and pay for any of the 20 or 18 courses that we are advertising under vocational or ICT. But when it comes to federal government budgeted funded training program, it's only purely for female. And of course, we also our office also have this inclusivity in the sense that we train persons with disability. Inside that ICT department, we have a blind lady. Her name is Scholastica. She's completely blind, and she has trained over 1,000 blind persons on digital technology over the years. She's blind. We were all employed by the American government. So American government were the one who perceived that concept that really we need to bring in, technology for persons living with disability. Though they started with the blind, they brought all the adaptive tools and technology for the blind. But over time, we've extended it to all forms of disability, whether you are an albino or you are on wheelchair, or whatever it is. And federal government always make sure that every year we train and empower persons with disability. So we don't just train them, we give them brand new laptops at the end of the day, we give them startup packages and little grants depending on the budget. And once you just walk in, if it's a 10-day program, just forget about everything. You'll be accommodated. We have posters inside there, and you'll be fed. All what you just need to do is just walk into the class, and once you're there, you're done. So again, going back to finances, it's expected that you form yourself into cooperative. You should have done the business for a certain number of time. Then you should be able to write a business plan, something that will show how far you failed in your business and the likelihood of you being able to pay back the money. And once that is done, then you are more likely to access a loan from the bank. But don't always forget, if you've not heard anything, always, if you're getting a loan that has interest rate attached to it, always ask for the possibility of bulk payment and work hard, make sure you pay that loan within the shortest possible time.
All right, thank you for that explanation, sir. Amazons, remember this is a discussion. You can also ask questions when you feel like you need clarity on one or two things. So I have Madam Safia here. Madam Safia, you can go ahead with your question.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much to the facilitator. My question is on the digital skills for persons with disabilities. I am a project coordinator for persons with disabilities at an NGO, and I would like to know if there's a specific name for the program or empowerment class or training for the persons with disabilities. And also, how can we register like a group of persons with disabilities from our own end? Please, I would like more information on it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your question. I said that that unit was established by the US government in 2002. That's 22 years ago. And we've been training persons with disability. The lady that is in charge is a blind lady. Her name is Scholastica. So our training day comes in two folds. One is through the budgeted program. Once we advertise that we're ready to train persons with disability on digital skills, then all what you need to do is to apply. But on the other hand, what we always tell associations is that we also give voluntary services. So if you gather yourself together and you want to come and do a 5-day or a 10-day training, that can be done for your association for free, or maybe for a small stipend. So you could so all what you need to do is find time and visit the center and go to the enabling, that unit is called the Enabling Technology Unit. Then talk to the lady in charge, Mrs. Scholastica. Then she will arrange for something for you. It is either you could bring your association members and she will do a free training for you, or once we advertise online that we are about starting our training and empowerment program for persons with disability. Depending on the type of disability, don't forget, we're always very specific. Like this year, we'll be working with the blind and also, I think the albinos and possibly those on crutches. But the deaf will be another year. But every year, through the budgetary program, we train persons with disability. Because the federal government must make sure that that is in the budget, because we want to bridge that gap and create inclusivity so that persons with disability can also actively participate in things happening in the country. So visit our center and visit that unit and you have more information about it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Do we have more questions? If you have a question, can you put it on the chat box or put your digital hand up so we can take your question? So, sir, you said something about the mentorship, right? Right. So one of the things we do after the training is we pair our participants with mentors. And what this does, well, what every mentorship does is to further promote the growth of these participants, right? It's not just about the training. So now this mentorship, we look out for women who have higher experience in business, who have been in these businesses for a long time. At least they can share their wealth of knowledge with our participants. But I want to be sure, because I heard you say something about politics. So I want to ask if we can have access to women who are who are business owners, that we can pair our participants with, so they can further expand their knowledge of business and also propagate their level of understanding So I don't know if it's just basically your mentorship is just basically focused on women in politics. What about business, business related? Are there women that we can have access to also pair our participants with, just in case we want to commence with our mentorship initiative?
Okay, thank you for your question. No, it's not just for women in politics. It's a resource center for women in governance and decision making. It's it involves women in all phases of human endeavor. It's just unfortunate that I wasn't around when people were concluding. The section is right down, I would have taken you to the room.
We also have Mr. Henry here joining us for this panel discussion. Mr. Henry, I saw your hand up earlier. I don't know if you'd like to comment on what we've been asking, maybe the questions, or if you have a comment. You have the floor, sir.
All right. Good afternoon, Amazons, and good afternoon, my moderator. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Once again, I want to appreciate the Do Take Action and the World Bank and my beautiful Amazons. You are all wonderful. So, from what I'm deducting from Mr. Morrison, he has offered a very beautiful platform for women to grow. It has also offered opportunity for women to source as loan, which is one of the key importance. Yesterday, we were talking about how to build businesses, and someone asked a question, what if he has no money? I think today has offered that platform. Please, I will beg and encourage women, form alliance with yourselves. Not only forming alliance and networking with yourselves, also go use these opportunities, because there are so many opportunities lying out there and they are untapped. A lot. In fact, this is an opener for me. On Monday, I will be at that center to meet with the man. That's my plan. There are opportunities lying down, but because we have no knowledge of that, so I will suggest on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just go there and make more inquiries on how best to tap the resources. Being trained from sweep is already an opportunity. When your certificate is given to you, it's already an opportunity for you to tap into it. Please, let's take this advantage. Then, madam, I have a question which I wish to direct to him. He made mention, if he's around, I can go forward, or should I pause? When he's come back, then I will write the question.
No, I'm around. I'm hearing you.
Okay,
all right,
let's have
thank
your
you very
question,
much.
sir.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Henry, and I would like to meet you on Monday, please. You made mention that the center is basically meant for women. I want to find out, how do you source for people? How do you advertise for people to come and enroll in your training? And also, is it possible you can also liaise permanently with SWEEP, with the organizers of the SWEEP programs? Do Take Action, precisely. So monthly or quarterly, they will be sourcing out for personnel that will be taking advantage of the opportunity that the center offers. And also, I will apply, I'm coming to apply to you to become one of the key resource persons in the center. Or then on Monday, we talk about that one. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much,
Okay,
Mr. Henry.
thank you. I just want to say something. It's important. Again, let me repeat what I said. Our training comes in 3 ways. We have about 20 courses that anybody can walk in. We call it walk-in program. Anybody, male, female, walk-in, even for children, young guys, walk in, register, do the training, pay for the training, and you're out. We also have other ones that we partner with organizations. UN Women can call us and say, look, I want you to train 500 women in digital technology. African Development Bank have programs. So we have programs everywhere. So even CBN. So people partner with us to get things done. Then the third part is the program that comes through budgetary allocation. The one for budgetary, now, The walk-in program is for everybody, male, female. The partnership program, depending on the partners, could be for everybody, male, female, but most times is for women, you know, because, but the last one, which is budgetary program, is always only for female. It is federal government deliberate policy to empower women. So I don't want you to get me wrong that we only train only female. We train everybody, but it depends on the type of program. So it's at that budgetary program that we train, we give equipment, we feed you for the period, we give you accommodation, we give you everything, we give you money, startup grant, transport, and you're out after that period. Then we monitor you to ensure that you're able to do what you.
Okay. All right, we have some hands up for questions. First and foremost, we'll be taking Madam Christine. Madam Christine, kindly unmute and ask your question or maybe give a comment. Madam Christine, you've been asked to unmute. Madam Christine, are you with us? I've asked you to unmute. You can unmute and talk to us. Okay, if Madam Christian is not available, we'll be taking Madam Vanessa. Please kindly unmute and talk to us. Madam Vanessa, if you can hear me, please unmute and talk to us. Okay, Madam Fatima, can you hear me? Unmute, you've been asked to unmute. Can you all hear me? I've been trying to unmute those. I've asked all of them to who raised their hands up to unmute. So you can unmute from your end as well. So Madam Vanessa, Madam Christine, Madam Fatima. Okay, I have Madam Loveland here. Hello. Please go ahead. Go ahead,
okay,
ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to unmute, but it wasn't working. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vanessa David Aladesomi. Thank you so much for this panel session. I would like to find out from him if the only people who can collaborate or kind of in partnership are organizations. What about if an individual, a woman, for example, has programs, especially skills, business skills, to step down to other women, and would like to partner in terms of probably using the development center, a small space, just like the SWEEP program used one of the rooms. Will that be possible, and what are the steps to take to be able to achieve that? That is as an individual.
Okay, so we work with organizations, we work with individuals. If you have something you want to do, just reach out to us. You can come to me, or you can write a letter to the DG. Normally you write to the DG, telling the DG your intention. And depending on what you want to do, she will manage that letter appropriately to the department that will handle that. Then department now will work with you to go and meet DG. You can explain further. Then from there, the issue of partnership can be discussed. And it all depends on the level of what you really want to do. You know, the center can support you in various ways. One could be that you could be given a space to carry out your program, or completely free, or it could be at a discounted rate, or the center can also partner with you to get the work done. So it all depends on what you have in mind, but individuals can walk in and work and partner with us. We are all about women development. We are all about, but it has to be something that has to do with advancing women development, you know, improving their lives.
Sorry, I can't hear you again, sir.
Okay, what I mean is, it's fine by me. So you get my details from the host and call me and let me know when you are coming. Then we can always sit down and discuss and know what you want to do.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We have Madam Olufumi Sayo here. Please kindly unmute and talk to us. Madam Olufumi Sayo, sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Please go ahead, ma.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma. We can hear you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. My question is both to the SWEEP team and the director. I can gather from the information given to us, it seems that access to finances is to already established businesses. So I was wondering, women who have ideas and maybe they are just on the low scale for now, how would it be available? How would the finances be available to such, as well as the mentorship? Because you mentioned, this issue of pairing participants in this program with, and the mentorship program they have in this center. And all, but it seems to be with people who have been in businesses already. So what plan do you have for startups, women in business? Thank you.
So let me go first. So the mentorship is not for just maybe people who are already established in business. No. So long as you've gone through our trainings, yes, whether you are a startup or you are a very established person, it doesn't really matter. All we want to do is advance your knowledge in business. So whether or not you're a startup, you're also going to be liable to join the mentorship pairing and the mentorship initiative we're planning for, right?
Okay.
So I don't know if you would like to add to that.
Yes, I would.
Okay. So when it's time, we're going to let you know. So when we're finalized on that, we'll let everyone know. So long as you've passed through our training, you have access to that initiative. Okay, I have Madam Loveline here. Madam Loveline David, please kindly unmute and talk to us.
Good afternoon, my great Amazon. In fact, the last person that just asked the question I was trying to ask. I just wanted to get clarity on that aspect about the startup business women. So that is all I wanted to get clarity on. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Like I said to her, the same applies to everyone. So long as you've gone through a training, would also, when it's time, we're going to match you and pair you with the respective mentors that are available under your field. All right. Thank you so much. I have Madam Christine here. Please kindly unmute and talk to us.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So my question is, the speaker was talking about digital inclusion for people living with disabilities. And I remember in the university, I had quite a number of, as the director of Entrepreneurship Development Center, I had a lot of students who had, physical disability and all that. And, I had to, because our examination was, online. And so we had to devise a way of coming for them to take their examination, using the Braille. And my question is, what are they doing for these students who are living with physical disability in the university system? Because most of them are having a lot of challenges, and it's so challenging that you want to weep and offer help as much as you can. So as an organization whose mandate and focus is on them, what exactly are they doing towards them? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. It's important our mandate is for women development. So we now extend this to those living with disability. So what that means is that so we have technologies that can enable persons with disability to become very useful in society, and these things are available. But it's important for me to mention here that even though we have programs that are funded by the government, we are sometimes constrained by the budgetary allocation, because it's through the budgetary allocation that we buy all the equipment that we need to buy for the students. But we also partner with other development bodies like SWEEP or DO can partner with us and say, look, let's train 500,000 persons with disability. We have the facility. We can bring them, we train them, empower them, and give them what. Now, the federal government is also doing its own bid. Don't forget that we're talking about digital skills here, even though now we're trying to enlarge it to vocational skills. So we're working towards empowering this group of people because they constitute a higher percentage of the country's population. And of course, if this country really have to move forward, just like we talk about male and female, you can't leave the female, because the male-female population is just almost like 50-50. So if you leave the female and only concentrate on the male alone, then you're leaving half of your population, the country can't grow. Then if you also look at the large population of persons with disability, we need to bring them into the fold so that they can also contribute their quota to the development. Everybody have to be active and working in order to get this country moving. So we can only do the best we can through the budgetary allocation. But however, we organize seminars, programs for persons. So as an organization, you know, all these groups they all have organization. We have Association of the Blind, we have Association of Persons that are deaf, and all groups. So we don't just work with single individuals. If we want to empower maybe the deaf for now, we go straight to the organization, to their national organization. And we say, okay, we need maybe 500 people, and you bring them from, you know, have that geographical spread from everywhere in the country. They will come around and we do the training. Then it becomes batch by batch. The first set will be done this year, next year. It's a continuous thing. Then, of course, for those who can come, we have we also have help for them remotely, which we are developing, because this constraint in everything, financial constraint could also be an issue. So that's why sometimes we create online solutions, online platforms that we can also reach out. In fact, that was really one of the reasons why I decided to set up that YouTube channel and push in a lot of courses over there. So that, because no matter the effort that we are making, it's still like, you know, a little drop of water in the big ocean. There are a lot of people who are still looking for, I can only talk about digital skills. A lot of people are still digitally illiterate. And of course, that's a problem for the country. So a lot cannot afford it. So what I decided to do, and it could be very competitive too, selecting people to join the training can be very competitive, you know, and the budgetary limitation too will also constrain us to just train a few people for that period. So what I decided to do was take all this technology online for free, you know, bring in all these training courses so that wherever anybody is, if you have data, you can at least listen, get this information, and of course become useful. And of course, with AI today, generative AI, it becomes easier. So what we just need is what the government is doing now, what the government is doing, not just for persons with disability, but also for everyone, is that government is gradually increasing internet penetration. So I think currently in the country, we have between 70 to 80%. So by the time we get close to 100%, that means every nook and crannies of the country will have internet access. And once you have internet access and you have a smartphone, then you have the biggest help that you need. Those are the two things you need to survive today in a digital world.
Okay, thank you so much. I trust that has answered your question. And Madam Neka here says she has a question. Please kindly unmute. You've been asked to unmute. Please do so and share with us your question, contribution. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, great, amazing woman.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Neka Joy Minonye. I have been listening, but for a few days now, I've been very, very, very busy. I'm just join and get myself worked up in something. But I have a question concerning this panel we have now. Concerning loan and for women. Because so most time, if you apply for loan, when they look at that you are a woman, they will give you some criteria that you may not be able to meet. You understand, to get the loan. But funny enough, the second person behind you will get the loan by not even having standard of what you are doing, will get the loan. And secondly, we're talking about these grants. They're always saying grants for women, grants for this. How do one assess this grant for women? They will publish something. They're online. They'll say these things are for this loan is for women. It's a grant for them to start their business or to boost up their businesses or to continue or to start up. But when you start applying, you will see some things that you will not be able to meet. But when you inquire further, you find out that some people have gotten the grants. How did they get the grant? You don't know. So I want to know more about this grant issue, because I have friends far away that they say, you are even here, you don't even know what is happening. That they just apply, they just got the loan. But you that is here, you don't know how they apply. I don't know how they apply to get the loan, and they call it grant. Most of them don't even pay back. So I want to know the procedure to apply for these grants, because I applied a lot for grants. Because me, I don't like taking loans. I like using what I have to do my businesses, because I'm into food and I'm into catering and food packaging. So all these things, I don't know how, because I really want loan to boost up my business. Grant here, grant that. If you apply, you won't get it. So I want him to at least educate me more on how I can apply for these grants. Because I'm not really a loan person. I'm always scared of taking loans. I don't know why. But when I see grant, I say, okay, this one is even much better than loan. But when I apply, I don't get it. So that's my question.
Okay, if I have to chip in something, I talked about grants. It's always important for you have to listen to government program, listen to the news at all times. Different government have different programs, and they also, especially those that are related to grants and all that. So even this current administration also has its own set of grants. The one that was under the last dispensation, this government is trying to recover from a lot of money that were given to people that were not paid back. Women Development Center is not really a grant organization, but our main aim is to empower women, create that equitable environment, encourage women and policies that will create equality. There's a difference between equity and equality. I hope you know the difference between that. So that's what we do, just empowering women in different things. Then, of course, we give a little grant. That grant comes in based on the budget that the government gives us for the year. So, like I said, it's always competitive. Sometimes the money may not be much because of the budget that is given to us. We wish we can do more. So what we do is we partner with other organizations. So what I want you to look out for is go to UN Women website, United Nations Women, UN Women website. Check for something on grants. You see a lot of information on grants. Go to UNIDO, UNIDO. Search for something on grants, you see them. Go to UNICEF, all the UN bodies. You have to use your phone. Use your phone. Once you have data, use that phone to search for information. Go to UN Women, UNIDO, UNICEF, UNFPA, all of them have training, they have programs that they give to women, to students, and all that. We just finished a training, a partnership training with UNFPA. They train over 50 women on entrepreneurship, digital marketing, and different courses. We did that in the office there, and they also have certain amount that will be paid to them. So sometimes these things are advertised, and people are not getting access to them. Then also go to CBN. CBN has a lot of grants for different purposes, depending on what you are doing. If you're into agriculture, they have grants for. If you're into entrepreneurship, they have different grants for different people. So you find out information. Ours is just to make a referral. a referral that, okay, these people are partner with us, they did training with us, please assist them in this thing. So when you go there, you will see their condition. But I know that one of the conditions is what I've mentioned. Most times, grant is easily accessible if you are going as a cooperative, not just as a single individual. And two, you need to have some kind of business plan. Just like somebody asked, if I have a business idea, yes, money can be given to you if the idea is useful. But I want to give everybody assignment. At the end of this training, you could just use your AI, go to chatgpt.com and just type something like, how can I generate funds for my business? And now you see that issues of possibly grant and loan is always at the end. So for those who are just starting business, it's always advisable, seek money internally. When I say internally, maybe from relations, from your dad, mom, friends, start that business phase. I have a business that I'm running. Business environment can be very challenging. Start that business phase. See how it grows. Know the challenges. Try to, just like a child trying to crawl and stand and all. So once your business has relatively taken shape, then you can walk into any financial body or access any of these grants from any of these bodies that I've talked about. And they will ask you some questions you can now confidently answer. Something you've not tried before and you want to implement it, and you're sometimes looking for a large amount of money, most times, most people will not support you. But if you've done something and you know it's viable, it's something you can sell, and you have, then don't also forget proper record keeping. So you have to keep record of your transactions. I think I shared it with you a long time ago. I have this online application that I built from scratch that you can use to manage your finances, all what the income that is coming in, the expenses and all that. At the end of the day, it will be tabulating and telling you what is happening, how much you're making, what you're not making. So you need to have, you can use Excel, you can use Microsoft Excel. You need to keep your transaction, record properly. People need to see how you're doing. And once you're able to get those records, you just need to be organized. Once you get those things done, then of course, people will be willing to support you. Then also always think about partnership. If you can't do it alone and you have some other person who is also doing, 2-3 people can come together and jointly execute the business and get it done. One person may have funds, you have an idea, then you partner. It's not all the time that we run to government and all that. And there's nothing wrong in taking loan. In business, as you grow in business, we always advise people use other people's money, but you have to be disciplined, and you always have to ask for bulk payment. Bulk payment means if you are given 10 years to pay back the loan, if you follow the normal monthly payment you'll be doing, it is the bank that will gain. But try and pay off that money as soon as possible. If you have any bulk money during the loan cycle, quickly paying. As you're paying in, the principal will keep dropping until you finish paying. That's just the secret of working with loan. There's nothing wrong in getting loan, but you have to be disciplined to manage it and to, of course, reap from the benefit of having it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I trust that has answered you, Madam Neka. And you can also reach out to look out for some sites. There are lots and lots of sites you can get grants. Yeah, there are also some sites are posted on the WhatsApp platform for how to access grants. The current ones we talked about it in one of our classes. So the link will be shared as well today. So you can look it up as well to see any grants you can work with from the list of grants. There are grants on agriculture, there are grants, different sectors. So it just depends on what sector you're currently doing business in. So I'll take one more question lastly before we call it a day, because today is Friday, as you can see. Lots of our Muslim faithfuls are going to the mosques. So let's find a way to wrap up so we can all go to our different activities for the day. All right, I have Madam Ella lastly. Please kindly unmute and share with us comments, questions. All right. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Ms. Bassi. Good afternoon, sorry. Good afternoon, Ms. Bassi. Good afternoon, our facilitator for today. Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, ma'am. We can hear you loud.
Okay. My question is the CBN loan. I'm a financial consultant, so I know that CBN has a lot of money, for loan, for business and all that. But the thing is that accessing them to ask the question is the problem. If we can have direction on who the desk to go, the office to go to make inquiries, I will appreciate that. Then secondly, in the course of your talk, your speaking, you mentioned that government gave loans out last year or so, or 2 years ago, and a lot of loans are hanging, people have not paid. The reason why, from my professional point of view, the reason why such loans are not being paid, as it's supposed to, is because there were consultants in between who 40%, 50% of the money, so giving the recipients half or 3/4, I think that's the solution. That's the problem there. And I'm suggesting, you representing government, I'm suggesting that you take it back to the government that they should try and reduce the things of this idea of having funds released through consultants. Because when they take such a percentage away, it'll be difficult for you now to start paying what you didn't use. Like this FGN loan that is ongoing right now, I like how they are doing it, but I hope that it stands that way so that it doesn't repeat. There will not be a repeat performance of what happened in the past. So that's just my contribution to that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Bassi.
All right, thank you so much.
Right, thank
you so much, Madam Ella. All right. Sir, do you have any comments? Any comments or?
No, I said that's noted. Okay. I've noted what she has said.
Right.
So I understand that was really what happened. So that's why this government is a bit reluctant to release a lot of loans, or grants, but it will come. It will come. But I will encourage everybody, start up your business. Just start small. I always tell people in my entrepreneurship class, start small, but think big. The world is a global village now. So just keep going gently. Source for loans internally. Look for people around who can support you, and be organized. Have your business plan. Have your transaction recorded properly. And once records are kept and your business is viable, then it's easier to get grants and loans from anybody. Don't also forget, UN Women will give you grants, will support you, but their condition especially is that you must go as a cooperative. They don't work with single person.
Individual.
All right.
Okay. All right. Lastly, Madam Ijoma, would like to take your comments, question, or contribution.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
My just an insight. Yes. Just appreciate I appreciate you. I appreciate World Bank. I appreciate UN Women. I appreciate all of us for this program. Federal government do give both loans and grants. But I have been beneficiary of so many loans and grants. But the truth is, most times we entrepreneurs, we don't know about them, or we don't know how to go about them, or we don't have the requirements. Just like last week, Bank of Industry was on air to tell us that they have the money, the 250 billion fund, the presidential fund that is already with them. And they're now calling on businesses to access the loan. They can give as high as 1 million to businesses, 5 million and more as single digit. So what happens is most times we're not aware, or we don't know how to go about it, or we don't have the what it takes. So I would just advise that we should just connect, keep connecting. And for federal government funds, they always feel comfortable going through BSOs, so to speak, like the the BOI told us last week that they are comfortable going through like NASME, NASI, and all those things to disburse such funds. However, individuals can still approach them. And I know that I have been on this loan for a year or more now, with all their requirements, having only one to go. But thank God I've been able to cross that hurdle. So CBN too, they have funds. I've benefited from CBN, but through my NGO, because there are funds that have been earmarked for a lot of, is it NGOs, is it this and this and that, but we are not informed, we are not aware. And you can't believe it that there are days you can enter CBN offices as an NGO owner, provided you are NGO. Those days you're free to enter there, go to the development fund department, make inquiries, get everything you need. But we are not aware. We are not, in fact, it always pay me that most times we don't have all these informations, or don't know how to go about this. All these things are there, but we are not properly informed, and we don't know how to go about it. So, Basi, I don't know how you and your team are going to help to create proper awareness for us, so many of us, to know all these things and know how to go about it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ijoma. Thank you, Ma. We're looking at that's a wonderful one. We'll work on ways we can get a partnership with them to see how our women can have access and the right information when it's time to get this information. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. Finally, sir, I don't know if you have anything to say before we call it a day on today's session. Is there any final words from you to our amazing Amazons who have been on this call? What are your words of encouragement to everyone here? Would like to have you, we'd like to have that before we call it a day for today's session.
Okay, I just want to thank your organization for having me. I want to thank the audience. I want to emphasize on the fact that knowledge is power. So let's use our phone rightly. That phone you're carrying is a smartphone. If you use it rightly, you get all the information. In fact, the whole world is on that phone. So let's use it rightly. And let's use it to get the information that we want. Use AI, ask questions. All the organizations we have mentioned, including Bank of Industry, CBN, they all have websites. And they all have apps. So you can download those apps and you can listen to what they do. And the whole world is on that phone that you're holding. So once we do the right thing, then of course we'll become empowered and we'll find ourselves excelling. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Morrison. Let's take to the chat box and appreciate our wonderful panel on today's session for informing us on a lot of things that we had no idea about. And we also have a well-rounded knowledge on what the MCWD, if I'm not mistaken, MCWD does. And thank you so much, sir, for coming on today's session. Thank you for joining us. We truly appreciate everything you said so far. And I promise our Amazons here are going to put every advice you've said today to action. Thank you once again, amazing Amazons. We'll be back on Monday. Thank you, sir. Remember, your mock bid presentation is Monday. Yes. Bye from us, sir. All right. Remember, your mock bid presentation is Monday. Who is excited, right? The team leads. I hope your teams are getting ready. Everything is set for you on Monday. I would want to announce the winner at the end of the day. The best team with the best presentation. Everybody who puts in the best work on their bids. All right. So thank you. We're going to have 2 more of these kinds of panel discussion next week. So stay glued to our WhatsApp platform, and any information that is available, we'll be making it known to you on the WhatsApp platform. So from me here, it's goodbye and see you come Monday. All right. Have a wonderful day and a lovely weekend ahead. Thank you and bye from here.